Let's see. We'll watch possibly RKDA, possibly for continuation. I'm not sure if it'll break over 11, but I would watch it around 11. Smaller size because the price is higher and the floats lower, spreads are big, so it's going to be a little tough there. And then NPTN, this one is possible. Fresh gapper. I'm not sure I would go for it, but it's a maybe over, well, pre-market high is 785, so I guess I'd say 785, 790. And then SRAX is the last one. Yeah, actually I can switch that. SRAX is the last one. That's a maybe, so we'll keep that one on watch as well. Test. All right, so we'll try doing the audio out of the webcam here. Okay, so move this over. TNTR, I don't see the big bids, so probably leave that one alone for right now. SRAX has bigger spreads and very light volume, though it does have news, which is good. Sure, Trader crashed. Interesting. I'm on light speed, still have my connection here. Hopefully there aren't any problems with that. No trades yet though, just watching. I see that CPAH. Can wait to see if volume comes into it. RKDA, yeah, it's just hard to trust. I've got a starter on RKDA at $11. Maybe I'll add over $11.50 on RKDA. Yesterday's high was 11. Let's see, it was 11.60. This one's tough though because the volume is so light. But it's a similar price range as INET, INNT, and ZZAN. So I think that there's a chance that we will see good follow through on RKDA. So watch RKDA around the $12 spot. Wow, 1240. It's just, you know, it's kind of hard to trade these with these huge spreads, but I'm just going to hold on and try to ride it as long as I can. CPAH is also getting some volume, but I would wait on CPAH for a pullback. RKDA is now closer to 13. I'm trying to ask myself, where can I add on this? 1322. $13.61. Jesus. Put an order to scale out half of it on the ask. I don't know why I shouldn't. Jeez Louise, I've got 253 shares left at a 1090 average. I've already got $2,200 profit. See, the thing with this, I just knew there was potential that we would see a big move because of what ZZAN and INNT have been doing in the last couple weeks. So this now has a high of 1444. The low of the last candle is 1242. I would use that as my stop. The problem is I only took 1,000. Well, I tried to take 2,000, but I only filled 1,010 shares. CPAH, the high is 424. So you guys, that's when I'm watching over 424, 425. I've got a starter of CPAH on the break of that 1 minute flag right there. Long CPAH at 220 or 421. RKDA, I'm still holding my smaller size on. The high is now 15. CPAH, I'm thinking, and there goes RKDA, is still going 1531, 1574. So still holding that, and CPAH, I'm thinking the high is 440, so over 440, 450, we'd want to see that one open up a little bit more. See what CPAH does. CPAH 1620, 1682. I sold my CPAH at 430 for right now. I just want to focus on RKDA. So the high is 1682. I'm still holding 253 shares with a 1090 average. I'd say I'm going to set my stop on those 200 shares at $15. I haven't seen a good 1 minute micro pullback for me to establish risk to get to add on it, right? So I'm just kind of like, I'd love to add because it's moving, but I can't risk losing $1 per share. See, look at how quick it can turn the other way. So maybe I'll put an order around 1650. See what it does here. Nope, see how that's how fast it can turn. Let's see what it does on this pullback. I didn't stop out, I'm still holding, but all right, stopped out 1448 on the rest. So with that, I'm up $3,512 on the day. 3,000 on RKDA and 300 on CPAH. And that was with only 1,000 shares. But I don't think I would have felt comfortable taking 5,000 of this because I was comfortable with 2,000, but not 5,000. That just would have been too heavy. So this, I think there's a good chance that this does get bought up on a 1 minute pullback. So it's worth watching, but you know, I don't want to hold it and let it go all the way back down to 12 and still hold those 200 shares. So just got to book my profit on it. I can now get back in. Remember though, on the 5 minute candle, this has a pretty big doji. So that could be a problem, but we still have 90 seconds left on this candle. I would watch it back over 16 most likely. to reduce my share size a little bit. So I'll watch over 16. Fingers on the trigger. I'm hesitating because I'm scared. I just don't want to lose those gains. The high is 1682. I could just see it going either way. Maybe I'll give this a second. Because my risk is to the low of this candle, so if I got in at 16, I'm risking like $2 per share. See, you know. Now we have 10 seconds left on this 5-minute candle, and it's almost definitely going to close as a topping tail doji. Remember the topping tail, this upper shadow of the candle wick? That's bearish because it shows the stock was not able to hold those levels. CPAH, this is, you know, not a perfect setup. The first 5-minute candle to make a new high over 440. The problem is getting in at 440 there, your stop is to 414. It's too far away to feel like it's good risk reward. So with something like this, if I got in at 440, I would almost definitely try to be selling half at 450 at the $0.50. I wouldn't be thinking I'm going to hold this for a move to 480 because the 5-minute pattern isn't strong enough. This one does have the advantage of being a good daily chart, though. The way it, you know, kind of is curling back up here, especially over like 475, but so watching the scans. I'll turn the bong back on. I had it muted by accident. CPAH looks like maybe the only one that would have triggered it so far today. Our scans here, CPAH, PYDS. I guess PYDS would have triggered it in yellow. It's the only one. And RKDA isn't on that same scanner because it's too expensive. That scan looks specifically for lower priced momentum plays. RKDA, you know, bigger spreads. RKDA is definitely flagging on the 1-minute chart. The 1-minute looks okay, especially if it gets over 16. But the 5-minute looks a little trickier. So maybe I'd watch it here to see if it breaks this descending resistance line. Okay, I'm long at 1550. Stop would have to be 1450, a full point, and I would add over 16. If we break the top of this channel on the 1-minute, this is a 1-minute setup, so I'm a little smaller on my size. Watching here for an add over 16. Added at 16 on RKDA. And now the target would be that we open up here and retest the highs, 1682. This, again, you know, we've got a higher risk on this, a little more volatility. I stopped out with profit. I just got a little scared there. Sold at 15.98 and I guess 16. I'm afraid of a false breakout because the 5-minute chart isn't very good. Which is, you can take 1-minute setups, but you have to recognize that there's a higher likelihood that we double top at this 1682 level and then fade. So we hit a high of 1650. I tried to sell at 1649 at the $0.50 and I didn't get filled, so that made me think, ooh, there's not enough buyers for me to get filled. Maybe I got to step back. So just sold the bid on the rest of it, or on all of it. I didn't get filled anything at 49. So 1,500 shares added a couple $100. So you've got a couple doji candles on the 5-minute chart. It is still holding up relatively well. We'll see what it does. It's so extended off of the 9 moving averages, and we usually use that 9 moving average as a kind of support level, but that's all the way down at $13. This 5-minute candle still has 3 minutes left. I want to say, because of this little resistance we're seeing around the 16 level, that if it broke 16, maybe 1610 or 1620, it probably a good chance it would break over the highs, but I'm not sure. Not confident enough in that one to take the trade yet. So the problem for me with RKDA is that the first 5-minute candle will make a new high, potentially would be over 16. But look at how fast it can go from 16 right down to 15.33 or 15. So it's like if I take the trade, it has to be a smaller size, and then I can always add over the high of 1680. So I'm going to go down to 500 shares on this one, and if I can get a cushion on those 500, I can add. Obviously, I have a cushion on the day, but I really just want to continue to build it and not take a trade that's going to cut it in half. And I still think that this one's extended on the 5 minutes, so there's the higher likelihood of false breakouts where we pop up to 16.10, 16.15, and then we drop to 15.20 or 14.80, right? See, this is almost looking like possibly a false breakout. Didn't quite break out though, but I wouldn't want to see it break below 14.50. The low of the previous 5-minute candle is 14.58. TNTR, those big bids are back at 37 and 34. High of day on TNTR was 48, so I don't know. Yesterday's high was 63. This is not really the strongest setup to be a buyer of because we've already got 4 green candles in a row, and it's getting a little extended, but maybe worth keeping an eye on. All right, so RKDA dipping down a little bit. CPAH still up from where I got in it, but kind of chopping out a little bit here, just a little sideways consolidation. So I'd say here for the first 25 minutes of trading, this has been a pretty solid day. $3,802.38. I might take more trades if we see good setups, but in the last 15 minutes, things have slowed down a little bit. So probably going to sit tight and try to just kind of trade the best, leave the rest, and that might mean I'm done for the day, and I'd be okay with that. It's a great day. First day trading here from California, and green is good.